Hey everybody, welcome back. Been a few days, but happy to be back playing some Isaac. Don't get me wrong. We got a 3 streak. How the heck does that happen? We got okay stats. We got still okay stats. And I'm feeling good. Thank you for asking. Did I already say that? It is a Thursday over here. Help me, help me. Right, we have a guppy item too. Well. It's Thursday over here. Had a good time playing some Elden Ring on stream today. Baby's doing great at daycare, hopefully. But very little else going on, which is fine, but also, I mean, I know you're going to say, NL, don't be shy. Give us your hot takes on the new season of Survivor. I have some hot takes, but I haven't seen the new season of Survivor yet. It started yesterday. I'm intending to watch tonight, which means probably by Sunday I'll be able to. Like, I watched last season as it aired, but realistically, look, you can be a little late to the premiere. You can be a little late to, like, episode 4. You don't want to be late to the finale because you're getting yourself into spoiler territory if that's something you care about. You can be late to those first few episodes. But you know what I was thinking? If you've never seen Survivor, I'm not going to give you a rundown of the show. You're probably aware of the concept at the very least. What they need to do, in my opinion, to make episode 1 hit is they need to pull a Hunger Games. By which I do not mean it needs to become a battle royale to the death. But they should spend the first episode exclusively showing contestants in their home. They should really get you, like, connected to them. Like, you should feel like you know these people and you have a favorite. And then on episode 1, they should eliminate half of them immediately. Just so that you know your fave isn't safe. That's what I'm looking for. None of this, oh, we got 3 months straight of episodes where we remove one person every episode. Nah, man. I want to see 10 of the 20 contestants get eliminated on the first, technically the second episode, but only after I've become attached to them. That sounds like fun. Anyway, I'm just spitballing. I don't really have... That might be terrible TV, but hey, they're on season 43 or something? Like, they can experiment a little. Let me out, let me out. Yeah, feeling good. I still keep tricking myself into thinking spring is here and then remembering that it's only the second week of March. I barbecued a little bit last night. I had to wear my winter coat. So it was really messes up your cook time when the grill is like, 500 degrees Celsius and then outside is like 0, but also certain kind of ruggedness to it. It feels good. Even as I was making the sausages, I was like, man, I feel like Hank Hill for real. It is a propane barbecue. Because we had a charcoal barbecue, but then it turns out that our HOA was like, you can't have those in case there's like a fire. And I was like, okay. Of course, in my head, you may already know what I was going to say to them, which is, oh, that's fine. I'll just not let it, like, light on fire. You know my philosophy on this sort of stuff. Like, I get, like, I don't know. I guess I want to see the stats on whether or not a charcoal barbecue is actually more dangerous than a propane barbecue. It might be. I will tell you, I actually prefer the taste of a charcoal barbecue because everybody does. The food made on a charcoal barbecue, I don't think I've ever eaten the whole barbecue myself. Maybe if I skipped lunch, maybe. But overall, a propane barbecue wins out for me because it's like 1,000 times easier to actually barbecue on it. You turn one valve, you turn 2 knobs, maybe you press a button, and then all of a sudden you got a grill that's getting hot. With a charcoal barbecue, you got you got wood or briquettes, and you got lighter fluid, and you're using a barbecue lighter or a match, and then, in order to change the temperature, you're not twisting a knob. You're like, look, there's a certain soulfulness to it, don't get me wrong. These are just pure garbage. Like, it feels more, I don't know, rustic. It's probably why the food tastes better, too. And if you got nothing else to do that day, then by all means. But if you're, oh, come on. If you're barbecuing, dinner for your family and you have a baby that goes to bed at like 7:15 p.m., propane might be the way to go. But I need to see the stats on which one's more dangerous. Because I feel like... Hold on. I feel like charcoal is more like... You gotta be like a sorcerer. People who are good at charcoal grilling, I guess they're just experienced. But the idea that they're like, you know... Oh, it's too hot. Hold on. Let me take out this exact piece of wood. Or let me put on one more piece of wood to get it to exactly the temperature I want. Like, that's sorcery to me. No thank you, by the way. No thank you. We'll just head downwards. They gotta give us a damage upgrade at some point. That's copium. That's me taking a hit of copium. So I do feel like if you're unskilled or if, you know, the winds pick up in the wrong direction, things could go wrong for you. But I feel like with the propane barbecue, isn't it like, if something goes wrong, your whole house is gonna blow up? I don't know what like a 20-liter tank of propane does when it explodes. I don't know the extent of the damage, but I have played some video games, you know, in my life. I'm not sure if you noticed that. Even Elden Ring falls victim to the exploding barrels. I don't mind this. I'm stuck! I can fly and I got stuck on a chest. That's new to me. Oh, maybe because it had an item. It's sticky. I don't know. Anyway. All the HOA stuff is very silly to me. Like, we actually... if you know me, you know this is an email I did not like receiving. But we got an email from our daycare that said, hey... We just got spoken to by, like, the property manager of the building next door. After you pick up your kids, please do not hang out and socialize. This is the, like, second time they've warned me, and we may face consequences as a result. And it's, first off, if you know my opinions on small talk, I'm never there to, like, you know, pick up my kid and then be like, so what are you and the missus doing this weekend? I pick up my kid, I give people a polite nod, and I'm like, I'm out of here. So it didn't even really apply to me. But you ever get those emails that, like, make you want to become a lawyer? So I want to talk to this property manager. Is it illegal to talk on the street now? Is that where we've ended up here? You don't like the fact that at 5:30 p.m. a couple of people outside your window are having a conversation? You got to passive-aggressively, like, phone a property manager and be like, hey, can you tell those people to knock it off? You gotta get a life. And I'm taking this all the way to the Supreme Court. On behalf of my daycare provider, because I feel like they're getting unfairly, like, raked over the coals here. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, we got the email. Kate was like, do you socialize after you pick up the baby? And I was like, I am out of there. If anything, I'm kind of resentful because of the fact that I am forced to socialize with the daycare. Like, I'm like, I pick up the baby, and I'm like, is she alive and healthy? And they're like, yes. And then they're like, you might want to consider investing in, like, a slightly different pair of all-weather shoes. And I'm like, I want to be out the door already. I don't need to know all this. Okay, I re-rolled for what I hope are obvious reasons, because our last run was kind of like pure, not goodness. This run's already better in every conceivable way, except we did lose our 2 guppy items, but so be it. We still got our angel deal. We still got a D100 in our pocket as well. Come on. I want you to hit me. I want you to hit me. Okay, I'll be leaving. But anyway, that's what's going on. That's about it. It's March. I love that the weather's starting to get nicer. The sun's staying out later. Daylight savings, we do spring forward this weekend in British Columbia, at least. This is one of the first years where I think I've actually appreciated falling backwards because it meant that the sun stays out a little bit. Wait, no, the sun goes down early, but is up earlier. I liked waking up and, like, the sun was starting to rise rather than waking up in the pitch black. I can understand that. I spend more of my day in that morning corridor than I ever have before. That being said, spring forward, that's okay too. Spring forward, we get those later sunsets. That's cool. To be able to put my daughter to bed and then look out the window and be like, it's not 2 a.m. type luminosity outside. But I'm not, oh my bone heart. I'm not worried about the 1 hour of sleep lost. You know, that all comes out in the wash. Of course, it's annoying, but that's like a one-day annoyance. What I am worried about is my daughter's whole schedule. Like, the way, I don't know if you know anybody that's like a parent to a toddler. This is our first pseudo-toddler. I'm rolling. What the heck? This is our first, like, pseudo-toddler daylight savings. I don't know what's happening on this run, but our stats are actually amazing now. I also don't know why we teleported, but that's okay. The other parents at daycare were talking to me. They're like, oh my god. It's like hushed whispers. It's like Voldemort, you know? It's daylight savings. We just got them on a more reasonable bedtime, and now it's daylight savings. No, it's not daylight savings yet. It's only February. Nah, it's March. No, like they talk about it as if it's like an insurmountable foe. That scares the crap out of me, because I'm trying to think, what does this mean, daylight savings, okay? We spring forward. Normally my daughter gets up at 8. When she wakes up and thinks it's 8, it's actually going to be 9. That's not that big of a deal. Oh, now I'm seeing the issue. When we try to put her to bed at 7, she's going to be like, what's wrong with you? It's only 6. He who shall not be named. What? Okay. I mean, I guess it's good. Can't deny that. Hold on, by the way. I might be having a package dropped off or stolen. Dropped off? Stolen? Dropped off? Not sure. I do appreciate the damage. The run is really good. It just needs really some red hearts. I don't know if I would re-roll this one freely. Like, this seems like a pretty good place to be right now. Maybe augment it with an angel deal coming up. So yeah, I mean, like, that's where I'm at in my life. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm preoccupied with thinking about the new season of Survivor and also daylight savings time. Oh, mark your calendars. Daylight savings time is coming up. You might be thinking that's so sad. And I think, to be honest with you, when I was 16, I would have felt the same. I would have been like, oh, that's such a sad existence. But then when I think back to, like, the way I was living my life when I was 16, I was probably playing like 5 hours of ESPN NHL hockey online every single day. That's like a way more sad existence than watching 1 hour of television a week and talking about it a little bit. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that. You might say, but that's different. A 16-year-old, like, they don't have that many other options, whereas as an adult, you could do lots of cool things. Well, you know, sort of. But a lot of the adults I know who are like, I'm living a fast and loose life, they don't live that fast and loose anymore. They're getting worn down, man. The longer you exercise a lot of your adult privileges, especially if you do it recklessly, it starts to have a wear on you. I know everybody likes the stories of Bill Murray getting, like, super drunk at South by Southwest and, you know, jumping behind the bar, becoming the bartender, and no matter what people order, they just give him, like, a shot of tequila. Or he gives them a shot of tequila. I find it funny, don't get me wrong, but also there's, like, a little tragic melancholia in there for me. I'm like, come on, man. You're like, literally in your 70s. You can't be... Is everything okay, Bill? You shouldn't be living like... You should be drinking tea, okay? Like, it's not just that your priorities change when you get older, but, like, living that party lifestyle, it starts to actually make you feel more miserable, I think, than it makes you feel good. Like, that's how I feel when I have, like, accidentally an 8% beer. I'll take this. I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I will have a beer with dinner tonight. Let me get a pint of this. And then I wake up the next morning at like 6:55 a.m. and I'm like, what the heck did I drink? Look it up on Google and I'm like, I knew it. 6.7%. There is my problem. You should gradually transition to the Earl Grey tea as your body starts to rebel against you. It's not about like, oh, they just start to hate fun as they get older. It's about, the stuff that's fun to like a 21-year-old is very different than the stuff that's fun to a 70-year-old. Like, I think it's fun to look at the performance of the S&P 500. Well, not lately, but... Oh, it's fun. In the same way that, like, a roller coaster can be fun. On the way down. Okay, excuse me. There you go. What do you got for me? The Hierophant. Thank you. Thank you. See, that's how anecdoteless I am right now. You got me thinking about the S&P 500. I am excited. We got some Vancouver Canucks games coming up. I'm also, and I don't get too political, really, whether you consider this political or not. I got to be careful about the way I phrase this, okay? British Columbia, as of tomorrow, is ending our mask mandate. I have happily masked the whole pandemic, and, you know, if they bring the mask mandate back again... Well, I should say first, I will continue to do so in sensible situations, like at the grocery store, for example. I think that makes sense, or if you're on, like, a crowded train. But I am very happy to be able to go back to the Canucks games and not participate in the TSA charade of security theater while they pack 18,000 people in at the games, shoulder to shoulder. Everybody's man-spreading. I'm touching like 6 dudes' knees at the same time without even moving my legs. And then they're like, you have to have your mask on at all times. I'm like, brother, we're all getting sick. And by the way, you don't have to have your mask on at all times. You just have to be actively eating or drinking, and then that gives you an exemption to having your mask on in the game. So it's basically just like a little fine. It's like, you gotta wear your mask unless you go get, like, some chicken strips. And then, the virus can't affect you if you're eating. Everybody knows this. Because as long as you have chicken strips, like, that's honestly, basically like an antiviral treatment. It's like, it's only the places that where I get annoyed when it's like, hey, we're doing the thing that we're supposed to do. We're following the science. But also, like, come on. Commerce has to still flow. So, like, when you're in the Starbucks, when you're in the line, you gotta wear a mask. That's a very dangerous place for the virus to be. When you're sitting down 3 feet away at a table, eating a scone, you don't need a mask. The virus can't get you as long as you're looking at a menu or something like that. Everybody knows this, okay? So I'm happy also as a glasses user to not have to watch a 2.5 hour long hockey game through a fogged windshield. And I know I have the masks that you pinch the thing on your nose, and they work with what I would describe as... Nah, I'm okay. I would describe them as having a varying efficacy. I'm wary of treating it as if, like, oh, we finally did our part. It's finally, like, oh, things are getting back to normal. Because they did this, like, last year. They repealed the mask mandate in, like, July. And then in August, they were like, perhaps we were a little hasty with that. So it could come back at any moment. Again, you know, you got to be careful with your optics on this, right? I'm very far from an anti-masker. I'm actually the only parent at daycare that is masked up outside to pick up their child. And I'm not making, like, a political statement when I say it. It's just, like, literally, we've been sick so much. If I could extend the respect to my fellow daycare parents by, like, minimizing the chance that I get them sick, or maybe that they get me sick, then I'm happy to do it. But for the situations, like, you know, the hockey games, for example, where it was pretty much bordering on absurdity, I am happy that that's no longer enforced, at least. But anyway. And I guess, you know, people, they always want to poke a hole in the positivity and be like, you know, it's a bad thing, COVID's still ongoing, is obviously true, and, you know, any day there could be a new variant that pops up. By the way, it's worth noting, just get this out of the way, I'm not an epidemiologist, I'm just spitballing. I'm not telling you how to live your life, I'm giving you my experience in this situation as somebody who's, you know, trying to do their best, not just for themselves, but for others as well. I'm okay with this, hold on. I guess I'll buy this? But, you know, it is good news, I guess, that it gets repealed. Means that somebody with some know-how, at the very least, is like, Things are, or they're facing immense political pressure to stop it, I suppose. But the other option is, things are on the upswing. And even if it's just if it's seasonality and we get like 6 months on, 6 months off, I think I can treat that as a positive for now. After what, 2 years now? 2 years and a bit. Anyway. See, again, now you got me COVID posting because I have no anecdotes. Do I want the Fool? I guess I don't not want the Fool. I'm choosing to focus on the positives here. I'm also very excited that I will no longer have to shout through my mask if somebody asks me to repeat myself, at least for a little bit. And this is true, I'm not just farming base here, but I meant to bring this up earlier. I'm also stoked for the people who work inside, or outside for that matter, but, most of my interactions with people in a working environment, they're indoors. I'm stoked for the people who have been wearing a mask indoors for like 12 hours a day at their job, to now have the option to not necessarily have to do that. Because I'm sure that wears on you, man. It's like a minor inconvenience, don't get me wrong, but a minor inconvenience, like 12 hours a day. Like, I wear my mask like less than an hour a day. That's easy mode. The Fool. Is this gonna work? I kind of feel like we might want to reroll, but we'll see. But if you, work in a grocery store and you have to wear your mask like 14 hours a day, ringing up people's corn nuts at the till, I got a lot of respect for that. You think... Wait, hold on. Here's what I'm going to say. Hemolacria might make this... Or, sorry, Marked might make this whole situation better. And if this sucks, then I can reroll. That's the beauty of having the D100. Anyway, I know it's a contentious subject. I'm the opposite of an anti-masker, okay? If I could have worn my mask to my daughter's birthday, well, actually, I was wearing a mask then, but help. I'm just trying to flex. What kind of mask you got? N95. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's a really good starter mask. We're rocking those N99s. Yeah, like once you graduate from the N95, I feel like the N99 is like a nice... It's a little bit more of an advanced mask. Like, I wouldn't say it's for mask beginners, but once you're ready to move on to like a big boy mask and you're done with that Bush League garbage N95, sure. Great, now let's see Paul Allen's mask. Is it Paul Allen? Isn't that the guy from Microsoft? I'm re-rolling this, dude. I'm Monstro's Lung, and I'm Zuzzy with it. I still want the Snot. I also very much... our rate of fire is non-functional. Everything else is pretty good. Our rate of fire is truly dreadful here. Oh, we do have Red Stew, but it's already expired. It's an interesting one. I mean, it's not that bad. It's usable for the next 6 rooms at least. Anyway, so that's what's going on in British Columbia in March, in case you're curious. Look for me at the game. I will have my mask around my chin while I eat chicken strips. And then I will put it back on when I go to the bathroom, because I don't want people to get sick. I think there's some places where even if perfect world like COVID was gone tomorrow, there's some places where I would still mask up. I would love to live in a world where flying on an airplane doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get sick. It's a little unrealistic. I don't know how much like a mask is going to help you out there, because I'm not an epidemiologist. I think it's a situation where people like book a trip 8 months in advance, and then on the day of their trip, they're like, they got a runny nose. But what are you going to do? Like, reschedule? There's too many moving parts. You just got to eat it and then go to Cancun with, the rhino virus and get everybody else sick just so you can enjoy some much needed time off work. It's the way society's set up right now. Imagine if you called in sick for your vacation. That's the way the world... Sorry, boss. I know I was supposed to be off today. Do I have a shot? Oh, I see what's happening here. Sorry, boss. I know I was supposed to be off today, but I don't want to spend my vacation sick, so I'm going to come into the office today just to make sure I'm healthy for my vacation. Is that okay with you? Can we reshuffle this vacation time a little bit? You understand, right? I wouldn't want to be sick on vacation. We only get one of them every few years or something. What's your job? Oh, I'm a professional hand shaker. I'm a perfume smell tester. I don't know how much HP we have, so this is a little spicy, but I do kind of love this run. The damage is incredible. HP's fine, man. Polyphemus? Now why didn't I look at my items earlier? 9 lives. This is good stuff. I still like the bit. I hate to highlight an old bit, but sometimes it's all I got. I love the bit about, you know, you're asymptomatic for so many viruses, but you're still very contagious. So if I see any of you guys outside, you better have a runny nose. I swear to God. I don't even know what that item is. If I go outside and I see any of you not sniffling, you could be asymptomatic but contagious right now. Now, I've had kind of a permanent runny nose since November, so I'm in the clear. I'm joking, I'm joking. High Priestess. Dude, this has got to be like a new world record. The longest we've ever held a Yera rune. And then actually gotten some use out of it. True or false? We got to be getting close at least. So anyway, that's like legitimately all that's going on in my life right now, which is actually good. Because like January and February just kind of like suck in general. You know, you make the best of it, but oh, what the heck? The sun goes down super early. That's when we got to start, you know, some tax stuff. It's annoying. I get, you know, my anxiety gets triggered because, like, I go through all my expenses for the previous year, and I'm like, why the hell did I eat so much food? This year, I'm not eating any food. I'm spending no money on food. And then, you know, the weather's just kind of gross. Now, like, March for me is a month of being excited to go outside and, like, get a sandwich from a takeout place. That's what it's all about, man. That's what... I'm not a St. Patrick's Day guy, but, you know, if you are, more power to you. I knew it, because I heard the dog. What the dog doing? Ooh, baby! Now we're talking. Look at this. 2 extra damage. Like in February, I'd be like, no, I'll just eat a granola bar and a little bit of cheese. In March, I'm like, dude, let's go out. Let's go to that place that's got that good tuna club. But that's a 15-minute walk away. Who cares, baby? It's March. Haha! It's 5 degrees and overcast. Yeah, you're gonna need a jacket. Come on, it's March. I mean, it's not April. You're not gonna be wearing shorts. We can still go, though. Hold on. Hold on. This must be some kind of cruel joke. They're all bad. I will not trade this run. Like, it's too fun. I refuse to trade it. If we're not going to trade it, that means we should get rid of the unicorn stump. I honestly, or get rid of D100, I should say. I would take Flush. Helps us deal with some annoying minions. I mean, our rate of fire is not exactly amazing right now. How about that? And I gotta say, Isaac's been, you know, reasonably kind to us lately. Giving us some fun runs. We're on a streak, which seems, you know, pretty crazy considering I haven't played the game so much. You know, you'd think that I would be a little bit more out of practice. Maybe I am out of practice and I'm just getting runs that are so good it doesn't matter. I don't know. Either way, I'm having a good time. And no, I've not seen the Batman yet, okay? I need to wait for, like, the Cinema Sins video. Not because I'm a Cinema Sins fan. I don't know if I've ever seen the Cinema Sins video, honestly. However, I don't have time to watch a 3-hour movie after my daughter goes to bed. It's literally too long. I need to wait for somebody to release, like, you know how they're making director's cuts? Here's a bit. I knew we'd have one joke in the course of this whole video. You know how they make director's cuts? Oh, you love this 2.5 hour long movie? Here it is in all of its most bloated form before test audiences told the director they were confused by what was happening and we trimmed it down to a much more manageable size. They need to have like parental cuts of movies that are an hour and a half long no matter what. And you know what? I will never be watching one of those movies. If they cut the Batman down from 3 hours to 90 minutes, out of respect, not once would I say, I don't know what's going on. Instead, that feeling of potential confusion from such slapdash editing would more than be compensated for by me being like, as soon as I got out, I would look at my phone and the time on my phone and be like, man, it's only 9. It felt later. That would be worth it for me. Now, do I think this is a money-making idea? No, absolutely not. Do I think it's a funny premise for a joke? Slightly, and that's good enough for me. Alright, don't die here. Like, literally, if you just dodge and hold a fire button, you can't lose. Look at that. Easy mode. That was a fun run. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. I hope you had a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!